Hour number 2. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hour number 2 of Die Party Blood Juice, week number 5. Graham, take it away.
Engelard,
Yes.
what do you do? Where do you
Well,
go?
I mean, I would go into Leo. Obviously, I'd go into where Leoland's house or practices, I suppose.
It's just actual home, so barging in would be
Well, yeah. I mean,
toward.
if it was practice, I would go in. But since it's home, I would knock on the door first
Okay.
and wait.
At which point, I mean, it only takes a couple of seconds for a kind of average-looking man with a beard to open the door, and he looks hardly unique in any way. He's got kind of close cropped brown hair, and he's got a neatly trimmed beard, and by all accounts looks nice. And he says, "Hello, what can I do for you?"
Can you remind me who this is
Yes.
before you get started?
Leoland, a Beach-Crestian priest. He worships Vistagroth, which is basically the Beach-Crestian god of wisdom.
Oh, is he the leader of those acolytes that were at the bank there?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yes. You are Leoland, correct?
I am.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
I don't mind at all. Come on in.
All right. I'll come on in then.
You see that this first floor it's well appointed, comfortably furnished. There's a cozy fire. He says, "Can I offer you some wine, ale, perhaps?" Speak
Just a little bit of wine.
and
None for me, thanks.
Okay, and he will motion to one of the acolytes who you didn't notice.
Hmm.
There are two of them, and one of which they both got shaved heads. One of them is fatter than the other one, but they, by all accounts, look oddly similar.
All right.
And one of them will go and fetch a little bit of wine for you. Give it to you. And he says, "What brings you to my humble abode?"
I just wanted to ask a few questions.
Do you have questions about the God of Wisdom?
No, I'm well acquainted with the with Vistagroth.
Are you?
I study some religion. I just would well, just a couple of questions, I guess. How long have you been in this town?
The keep here, few years now. Why do you ask? Why is that? What's the angle?
Curiosity.
Curiosity. That's not a curious question.
I guess not. I suppose I'm asking around about a certain disappearance that happened nearby. But well, these acolytes of yours, they seem interesting. Are they? And I've heard, are they under some sort of vow of silence?
Priests of the God of Wisdom take regular vows of silence, but of course you know that.
Of course. And I guess I should be blunt with you. I've heard that your two acolytes have been going to the what's the bank thing called?
King Savings and Loan.
Yes, they've been going to the King's Savings and Loans every day, or every so often, depositing 2 silver. It seems like a rather large amount for such a humble abode to be able to deposit that much.
Well, I sent them to deposit that. And it requires keeping regular deposits to avoid taking taxes, penalties, whatever you call it.
I mean, it's somewhat. I mean, I can't imagine Mr. Goth being too popular of a god out here, unfortunately.
What makes you say that?
I mean, you are facing competition from the outside, Alcius, of course.
Competition?
Well,
This isn't a game.
I didn't mean to imply it was a game. I just meant to say that a lot of people don't quite understand that. Eh, it's just most people tend to focus their efforts on one thing, even if they don't need to.
People focus on things they can see. They can see the sun.
And it made sense. I suppose that you're correct.
Tell me why you're really here.
I'm here because some people mostly thought your acolytes were a little suspicious. I personally don't see too much ground in the assumption, but if it would look suspicious on me if I decided to avoid you entirely.
My acolytes are misunderstood. Merely, Humbert and Holger are harmless. They wouldn't hurt a fly.
I mean, looking at them, I doubt they would either. I think it's just some townsfolk maybe being a bit paranoid.
Looking at them, you know that, or you can tell that. I mean, they look quite capable of hurting a fly, but you have no way of determining their integrity or.
Well, I
So
mean,
they're Jackie Chan. They can pick it out of the air with chopsticks.
Yeah.
just trying to be a bit diplomatic.
Is there anything else? I do have much study to accomplish.
Yeah, sorry about this. I just had to ask you. Thank you for the wine.
Here, have this. Take this with you. When he goes over to a cabinet, opens a drawer, and pulls out some water. He says, "A gift from Vistrogoth himself."
Thank you.
He gives one to Roland as well.
Oh, what is it?
Holy water.
Fascinating. Tell Vissy. Tell him I said thanks.
Don't mind. I whisper to Leland. Don't mind him. The suit makes it a bit hard to for him to hear names correctly.
It's okay. I'm very familiar with Roland. Don't worry about me. He pats Roland on the back.
I mean,
Thanks again, Lionhead.
Like he would a child. Has you, escort you out.
Yep. Well, once we're out and a little bit away and we're out of earshot, I'm like, that was ended up being kind of pointless. Really shouldn't have blown my cover so early.
Yeah, you're not particularly subtle.
I was a lot more subtle with the merchants. And also, I don't think you are the best person to be saying that.
He is the most subtle of all of us.
Whoa.
Deep. That's pretty funny.
What happens next? Let's cut back to Walzer.
All right.
Walzer, multiple hours pass.
Uh-huh.
You haven't seen a single goblin. Or anything for that matter.
So I turn to Jasper and Paul, and I'm like, so, is this your main source of income? It doesn't seem to be working out too well today.
It says it takes patience.
This isn't fishing. I mean,
this is Jasper. And he says, "Well, we don't all go to the same location. It takes, you don't want to deplete the resources."
Oh, I get that. I heard that though there was a cave brimming with these bloody things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If everybody goes there, then they'll be gone. There won't be any left for anybody else. But we got we've been talking some things over.
I sort of laugh at that. I'm like, you expecting them to breed by the time you come back or something?
Well, no, but we've got another idea. We got another lead. The camps are beginning more and more spread out, so we're playing a hunch right now.
Okay.
But I thought you wanted to see the sights.
Yeah, I wanted to find out where the goblins are so I can come back here and kill some myself, but, you know.
Well, we gotta tell you where to stay away from first.
Oh, they sound like the most interesting areas. Why are we staying away from them?
And he says, well, up here, that's the thing. You don't want to come out here willy-nilly and just go wherever you feel like. He says,
Are you able to elaborate on that a little more for me?
yeah, so over here, about a few miles this way, we're going to show you the, there's a place we've been scouting out for a little while now. There's one thing that's not, they don't bring back from the cage, is the lizard man tails, and that's where we're going.
Interesting. And you said there's a camp of these guys up here.
A mound, yeah.
A mound. Oh. Interesting. Man. Yeah, have you heard much about those caves though? I mean, like, they're the main reason I came down here. I thought this place was just overflowing with these beasties.
That's the idea, yeah, but I mean, come on, lizard man tail is worth like 3 times as much as what a goblin is.
Yes, but how many lizardmen do you think you're gonna find up here?
I don't know. It's part of the adventure.
I thought you were in it for the money.
Well, money, adventure. It's all exciting. What's your deal, man?
I got this bastard to feed, and I sort of pat Pike. How many do you suspect we'll walk into today?
Lizard men? Not sure.
Have you found this place out before?
Well, we've seen the mound. That's the kind of place lizardmen like to hang out. It's damp, swampy.
Okay.
It's the only place like it. Only place like it anywhere nearby. I mean, for some reason, we've always wondered why Lieutenant Absalon offers a bounty for lizardmen when nobody really brings back lizardmen. So we figured there must be a nest somewhere. I think we found it. That's where we're going right now.
Okay, lead on.
Okay. Let's go back to Engelard.
All right.
Engelard and Roland.
Yep. Well.
So you were curious about you thought his friends were suspicious.
I did think they were somewhat suspicious, but part of this was also just clearing up something. I honestly doubted that the acolytes should do much of anything.
Huh. Yeah, speaking of that, Billy. You know Billy?
Billy?
Yeah, the captain's young ward.
I don't... Might have been one of the people we've met, but...
He was easily missable.
Yeah.
Follows the captain around. He's got a weird look in his eye lately.
Oh, really?
He seemed a bit perturbed.
Wonder why.
Something might be eating at him.
Yes, I think I get the hint. When did you last see him, I guess?
Well, he follows the captain everywhere, and when the captain came by to say, hey, give those guys this map, help them out a bit, Billy was there looking all, bothered.
Wonder. Seems kind of odd, but we'll just have to ask him then. Where would you think he'd be right now?
I don't know. Where would I think he would be right now?
With Captain Sinat in the guard tower.
Probably with Captain in the guard tower.
Well, I guess
We can just walk in and say
Yeah.
hi if we need to.
Yeah.
You can go in the guard tower. First floor of the guard tower is where the bounty board is, and where Lieutenant Absalon kind of sits at the desk and collects ears. And then the second floor is where Captain Sinette and Lieutenant Absalon have their offices. And then third floor is where they have their quarters, and then fourth floor is where there are common quarters.
Well, I mean, it's no trouble just go ask him a couple questions. How is it?
Well, all right, but promise you'll be more subtle this time.
Yes, yes. Be more subtle.
Subtle like me.
All right, so you guys go to the guards tower. The door is always standing open. There's always people coming and going, various guardsmen, nameless guardsmen who are uninteresting, coming and going. You guys walk in, you see Lieutenant Absalon there, and he says, I'm sorry, you're going to have to tell me your name again.
Engelard.
Engelard, yes. You got some bounties? And he sees Roland come in, and he kind of rolls his eyes.
No, unfortunately. I would just like to see crap, I already forgot his name because I forgot to write it down. What's the guy's name? Not the captain, his
Squire? William?
Yeah. William. Yes, I would just like to see William, if it's at all possible.
Yeah. Hey, Roland, I'll tell you that... Well, never mind, you know it.
What I do?
No, you don't know anything, actually.
I don't know anything. Okay, I don't know anything.
God damn.
And he says, yeah, he's seeing to Captain Sinette's horse in the stables.
All right.
But Captain doesn't really, and I don't really, care much for you to talk to him without one of us present.
No. Well, all right.
That's kind of odd.
He says, well, he's my son.
Oh, really?
It's
You've got a fine boy.
He says, yes, I do. But he spooked easily.
Well, maybe it would help if you let him make friends without looking over his shoulder all the time.
He says, well, you look here, Puffball. Kind of stands up and gets next to you, gets in your face or your helmet, and he says, "You don't need to tell me how to be doing anything."
Now,
it's just a suggestion. I remember when I was his age, I too had trouble making friends from certain overbearing caregivers.
now it's. We didn't come here to start a fight, sir. I just wanted to ask a couple of questions, but if he's busy in the stables, I'll leave him be.
He says, yeah, you see that you do. Kind of sits back at the desk.
All right. And I'll just take my leave.
Okay.
Once we're out, I'll just whisper to Roland. We'll come back later when maybe I have some sort of way of letting him know where to contact us in private.
Good idea.
Jesus. My ear.
All right, Walter.
Yes, sir.
Paul and Jasper have brought you to a what appears to be like a giant anthill.
Okay.
A large earthen mound, 50 feet across, 20 feet tall. Shrubs and plants growing all over it, that sort of thing. There's an opening in the mound on the side facing you, like a small cave.
Okay.
So Jasper and Paul have kind of got down. They've got their bows drawn, and they've been sitting here for about 20 minutes waiting for something to happen.
I sit there with them for the 20 minutes, I guess, and then I turn to them and I'm like, "What are you waiting for?"
They're going to take them by surprise. Said if we get in there, we don't know what's in there. Are you sure you've bounty hunted before?
Yeah, I normally just walk in there and kill everything there.
No, well, we don't find that to be the most effective after what happened to John.
Well,
You learned from talking to them. John's a guy with the eye patch.
Is this where he lost his eye?
Here?
Well, with you guys.
Oh, in the keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story. He got overzealous.
It happens. Well, have you inspected maybe the entrance of the cave to see if there's actually any comings and goings of any creature whatsoever?
Well, here, see here. You see this? And he points to a leaf on the ground. And he says, "See that track right there?
I
Says
see
there's lizardmen around here."
Okay. How long do you plan on waiting?
Says just a little bit while longer. I can feel it. I can smell them.
I ask Pike if he can smell them as well.
And he says, or he tells you there's something in there.
Well, Pike says there's something in there, so you're probably right.
At which point, a 7-foot-tall lizard man walks out of the hole.
Okay.
He says, "Oh, there. Shh, shh, shh. Get down. The lizard man has a necklace with bones on it and a kind of wolf skin skirt.
Is there a way that I can get Pike to sort of size this guy up with his, like, primal instincts or anything like that?
Sees it as a challenge.
Okay.
Like he sees it challenging.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you. I thought you said he sees it as a challenge. So I'm like, okay, is that like a roll or something?
Yeah, no.
like,
if there was a fight, he would see it as a challenge. It wouldn't be easy.
Okay.
It wouldn't be super easy.
What are the weapons? I know one of them has a bow. What does Paul have? Or has he got the
Also a bow.
Okay.
And he says, "You ready?"
Of course. What do you? How do you want to do this? Do you guys want to shoot first, and I come in with Pike, or what do you want to do?
That sounds good. Yeah. We'll let's see, Paul. You head around the left side. I'll go around the right side. And then Walzer, go up the middle.
I can do that.
Okay, they kind of spread out, and at which point another lizard man comes out of the hole.
How big is this one?
About the same.
Okay. Is there any sort of hierarchy clearness between them? Like, can I tell that one is sort of got more?
One has
compass?
some sort of reptilian scaled loincloth, skull necklace.
Okay.
This one has some sort of like tool, like a hammer, like a crude stone hammer as a tool.
Mm-hmm.
It would seem, and they kind of come out. They've got long prehensile tails and kind of stretching.
Okay.
And so eventually, the two guys get around to the flanks, and they will both fire.
All right. How do they hit?
What do you mean?
Like, where do they hit?
Yeah, no, I'm getting there.
Okay.
What you see is one arrow takes the first lizardman in the stomach and actually goes through the abdomen, comes out the other side.
Mm.
Another arrow strikes the one with the reptilian loincloth in the chest and actually sticks in there too.
Okay. How are the lizardmen faring to that?
Well, let's roll for initiative.
Okay. So what do you want me to do for initiative here? Is it just with Pike's initiative?
It's going to be Pike. I mean, if you want to act, you can act, but it will just be on normal
There's
roll.
there's not an awful lot that I can do right now, so... Okay, we'll go with Pike's initiative, so just a d20. I got a 3, holy crap. I go first.
Okay.
The rolls are
Very low today,
quite-
yeah.
yeah.
Pike will go first.
Alright, after the, so does any lizardman have their back to me whatsoever?
Yeah, the one that got hit in the shoulder actually kind of spun around, so his back is to you.
All right. I'm gonna spur Pike on, and we're gonna rush for that guy. And
All right.
Yep. Are we able to get there and attack in the same turn?
Oh yeah, +1 for charge too, and +2 for back attack.
All right.
Rear.
So on both attacks or just the one?
Both.
Both. Okay. Let's see. It's 7 and 4 if I remember correctly.
I have
yes,
that as well.
7 is 4. Yep. Okay. So 10 for the bite and 7 for the stinger.
All right, so the stinger is not going to hit. The lizard man's hide is too tough for the stinger. Apparently, it glances off, but Pike does manage to come in and get a bite around the leg. He kind of bent down a little bit to get the tail shot, and so he grabbed onto a hawk, a lizard man chunk.
Okay. Yep.
Took a little bit with him. Major bleeding, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paul, basically 2 more shots come out of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 are going to strike the ground and miss.
Okay, as long as they're not hitting me, that's a good
thing.
Yeah.
Nah. The lizard man that got taken in the chest, or not chest, the abdomen, will actually fall over. Not dead, but stunned and dying.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that got hit in the chest is quite bleeding as well, and so he will basically get down on one knee and basically put his hands together and surrender.
Which is the one that I bit? The one that's surrendering?
Yeah.
Can I coup de grace this guy?
That's what you want.
Yeah.
You can't coup de grace, but you can attack him.
Okay.
As like a response.
Yeah. So has he dropped his weapon?
That hammer, yes.
Yep. All right. Then I'll coup de grace him. Or I'll bite him, I guess.
Okay.
So the bite is +7. Anything bonus here?
Yeah, +2 because he's kneeling.
Okay. Oh my god.
Interesting. Let's see what happens to Pike.
Trips and falls on his ass.
Maybe the lizard man will be bolt attacked.
Fucking hell, man. These rolls are just not doing me any favors today.
Yeah, really. Yeah, so Pike actually falls to his knees. I want you to make a dexterity check, Walter. See if you fall off.
I have riding, land-based riding.
Make a land-based riding check.
So I don't fail.
Well, you might roll 1 again.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. 32.
Okay. At this point, Pike, for his next attack, will be taking a -5 to his attack.
For both or just one?
For both.
Okay.
On his next move. Let's see. At that stage, it's going to be Jasper's turn, and Jasper will fire 2 shots from the trees.
Mm-hmm.
You hear one of the shots hits the ground, didn't make it at all, and then the other shot, you hear him cursing.
Oh well. At least we're being more quiet than Jasper, so.
Pike.
Yeah.
Pike will go.
So I guess it's just +3 then, and the other one's not worth taking because it's a -1. So.
Sure.
Is he still on the ground?
Yeah.
All right. So then it'll be 5. 13.
Not good enough.
All right. Let me try the other one. So 4 + 2 - 3. I guess that would be 2 then. 7. Not good enough.
All right. 2 shots come from Paul's direction. Ooh, these both hit. There we go. The lizard man is taken in the head and the chest again and falls over. I mean, didn't have much life left in him anyway. That was all very quiet. I'll have you know.
Yeah. Except for the cursing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was kind of muffled cursing.
Okay.
What happens next?
I instruct Pike to pick up the bodies in his mouth if he can.
You can only get one. I mean, they're pretty heavy.
Or he can drag them, right?
Yeah, he can drag one.
Alright, so he can pick one and I'll pick up the other, then I'll dismount and pick up the other.
With one hand?
Just drag it all on the ground.
Make a strength check. Just muscle check.
Sure, I can do that. 28.
Alright, yeah. You grunt and struggle and
Yep.
pull with your left hand and drag him back to the tree line.
Yep.
Okay, then what?
I wait for the other guys to catch up with me.
Yep, Paul and Jasper come back and says, yeah, good job, and they high five. Yeah!
Yeah.
And then they take out their hunting knives and they saw off the tail tips.
And I'm like, do you mind? And I sort of motion towards the bodies.
He says, mind what?
And then Pike will start eating them the moment he says that.
Okay, yeah. Alright, well.
He's hungry. He hasn't eaten a good
Yep.
real meal in a couple of days, so...
Sure, you see that so the bone necklace, wolf skin skirt. One of the second lizard man actually has a necklace.
Okay, well, I'll take the stuff off that makes sense to take off before he eats.
Okay, sure.
Like, because he's not going to eat clothing. That's just weird. So,
Alright.
yeah. I'll, derobe them,
Well, when you
item
disrobe them, you see that as sort of like a person who would wear an athletic cup, he's got a human skull over his junk.
Grotesque. I take the
Yeah.
skull and I throw it away, and I'm like, that's just fucking wrong.
Okay.
Have at it, Pike. Yeah. And I assume
Alright.
he'd be like, going through the stomach, I guess, and he wouldn't eat the entire body. Because I
No, he'd
imagine
eat
it'd
the-
be pretty hard.
He eats a good part.
Yeah.
Heart, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. Engelard, what happens next?
Well, I mean, pretty much both things I was thinking of before got shot down. Or rather, failed for one reason or
So
another.
let me guess, you're gonna have to try and sneak away with a child somehow in the middle of the night and talk to him.
You're making this sound a lot creepier than it should
It
be.
is kind of creepy, a little bit.
I never said sneaking away with him.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, do what you need to do.
So around what time would it be, Graham, now?
We're still mid-morning-ish. Late morning.
Let's see. We covered. Well, there's not much as I could do. I guess I could go. Well, so looking at this map that I was given, how long would it take roughly to get to where these crosses are, or whatever?
Probably at least half a day, if not more.
So probably not worth it.
There's a lot of woods out there.
So it probably wouldn't be worth.
Assuming you don't get lost.
Yeah, true. So it's probably not worth it to go out there without Walzer. Well, I suppose I can just go to the tavern for now. See if there's anybody seeing there's even any gossip at all going around about something.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Why don't we get a drink, and you can fill me in on the specifics of your little quest thing.
Sure thing. Whatever. Let's.
I
Yeah,
kind
we'll
of
go
feel
to
like
the
I've
tavern.
left you babysitting a little bit.
All right. At this point, you go down to the inn.
Yep.
Not the inn. Sorry, the tavern. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Did I give it a name? Wild Edge Tavern. The tavern on the Wild's Edge. That's what it says.
All right.
Yeah, I mean they've got normal tavern amenities. The food that's on is a stew. Kind of whatever they have left over. It's the end of the
Yeah.
week. Stew.
Of course. I will just have some of that.
Like some stew. Yeah. Okay. Good. Wine, spirits, anything like that. They got bitter
Wine.
stout.
Wine, but mostly I'm here to I guess besides obviously explain what we're supposed to be doing to Roland, I'm also here to listen to see if there's any I guess if there's anybody nearby is gossiping about anything. Could
All right.
be-
Yeah. Well, actually, when you walk in, you see that there are a number of men in the corner at this stage, having a conversation. Lionheart is there.
Hmm.
Solomon, who you have not met, the bailiff, and Justiciar,
All right.
and that's it. Them two are having a conversation.
Well, I would want to sit close, but not so close that it looks suspicious. Just close enough to maybe be able to be in earshot, decent earshot.
Sure. Roland, you know that the tavern keeper is Edward. He's kind-hearted, and Ginny cooks in the back. He's having a chat. Do you fill Roland in on what's going on?
I'd probably just give him the general. Basically, I'd say, we're here investigating a dwarven caravan that disappeared a while back. We have about, I guess, 19 days now to discover where they went before all hell breaks out here, pretty much, as dwarves would declare war on this keep.
Why would they declare war on the keep?
Because they assume, as it stands, they currently assume somebody either in the keep or something else, or somebody related to the keep is the culprit.
I see.
So
I forgot to mention Burr and Gimack are in there too.
well, I assume that, honestly.
Okay.
So
They
basically,
come and sit with you, but
Yes.
without being invited.
whatever.
Well, hello there. I'm Roland.
Don't mind him.
Roland, nice to meet you.
What's your name?
You look weird.
Thank you.
He says, "I'm Burr. This is Gimack." Gimack says, "Well, hello. What's that get up you got there?"
Oh, this old thing? It protects me from explosives.
Explosives, eh?
Yeah, I blow things up.
Blow things up?
Yeah. It's kind of
Cool.
a hobby of mine. More of a profession, I suppose.
What kind of monsters have you fought?
You don't need to yell.
Oh,
He can
what?
hear you. Just don't expect him to hear your
he's
name.
yelling. He started it.
He's yelling because he is yelling because he is in that suit, so it echoes his voice.
Sorry?
Roland, what kind of monsters have you fought?
Oh, all sorts of things. Did you know that you can get most wild animals to swallow an explosive device?
That's pretty cool.
You just need to wrap it in a hunk of cheese.
Engelard, what have you found out? Come on, need some results. Waiting on you.
I know. I came here for a reason. Are they? What you call it? No, I keep forgetting their names.
That's fine. Well, thanks to Roland and Gimack's
Yeah.
display of yelling and stuff,
Yeah.
Leonard and Solomon will take it outside.
Of course. Well, after you two yelling, I kind of lost it, so... No, how about you two stay here and talk? I'm gonna go do something real quick.
Alright,
So
sounds good.
So yeah, I'll step out. At this point, can I see where,
Yeah,
they
Solomon and Lionheart are walking away. Toward the Bailiff's Tower.
Oh, of course. Well, damn it, there's not much I can do now. Fuck. Well, I mean, that was pretty much a loss, damn. Oh well. There's nothing I can do about that now, so I guess I'll just go back in and, look very irritated at having lost a chance to actually get information.
And well, the tavern keeper will come up to you whenever you sit back down and look sad. And he says, "Well, You know, I know the two dwarves here, good boys here, and then Roland over here. I've known for a while, but I don't know you. Who are you, sir?
My name is Engelhard. Can I get some wine?
Engelard. That's an interesting name. Got a cousin
Yes.
named Engelard, I think.
Hmm. What a coincidence. Do you mind if, can I just get some wine right now?
He says, yep, wine coming up. What seems to be troubling you?
Nothing much.
I imagine you're away from them, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. Nothing much, really. Just some minor irritations. I just want to drink right now.
All right. He leaves you to your drink.
Yep. Just drink then for now.
Walter.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Well, you've cut off the lizard man tails. What happens next? Paul and Jasper will say, "Come on, we're off to the next spot."
Okay. Where is this one?
He says, "Well, firstly, we figure there's more than there's a couple more lizardmen in there. You know, 2 at a time. That's pretty good for us. We'll just we're gonna pass by. We're gonna make a couple of stops, check in with some things. Just follow along. We're gonna check on one of the goblin camps up near the southern ridge."
Have you fought many goblins in this area?
Yeah, a couple, dozen or two.
Strange question. Do you think have you run into anything that seems like they might be organized?
How do you mean? Not these ones, no.
Oh, I mean, like, there's a few goblins that I fought up north. Is it north, Graham?
Yeah.
Okay. Fought up north that, seemed to be making emblems and stuff. It was kind of weird. I was wondering if that's happening down here as well.
No, probably not. These goblins just kind of go with the wind. They nobody will miss them.
All right. Excellent.
So about 30 minutes go by walking this way. He points to a clearing. He says, "Yeah, that clearing over there with the gnarled trees around it. You see that there's kind of some dead trees around it." He says, "Never go over there. There are giant spiders that live that way. Don't want to go that way."
Okay. Makes sense.
And then he comes by, and at that point, what you hear is you hear some hissing and hooting and hollering from behind you.
Humans?
It didn't sound human.
Okay. Well, you said hollering, and I was like, well, maybe they're like a...
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay.
Behind you, in the direction of the lizard man mound.
All right. Can I do a trouble sense?
Oh yeah.
7. 13. Probably not good enough.
Definitely not good enough.
All
Seems
right.
like trouble, but specifically what kind of trouble is unbeknownst to you.
Okay. All right.
Paul and Jasper look at each other, and he says, "The lizard men, they followed us."
Well, we didn't do
Come
a
on.
very good job of hiding their bodies, so it would make
They
sense.
start to run.
Okay. I want to look behind me. Is there anything obvious behind me?
You hear some. Well, you see, a flash of. It's very dense woods, but you see, something in the distance.
The other two running?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll Pike will keep up with them easy enough.
Chase music. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, darting in and out of, in between trees and whatnot.
Sure.
And he says, Jasper and Paul will kind of, they appear worried. Paul says, "Man, if they catch us, lizardmen, they make dresses out of human skin."
Or cups out of your skulls, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, and they continue to run. He says, He says, "Damn it, Jasper, we're gonna have to go that way." He points over to the kind of the southwest is where it'd be, and he says, "Damn it!" And they start heading southwest.
All right, I'll keep up with them.
And he says, "Walzer, we're gonna come up to a ridge. Just stay low."
Sure, I'll do my best.
At that point, I guess Walzer too. Jasper and Paul will kind of step up kind of a rock stairwell. Not a stairwell, but rocks that appear to be in the shape of a stairway.
Yep. Sure.
They'll run up that and then jump off the top one to land kind of on a floor. It's about 5 feet down from there. It's kind of a high rise, kind of a ridge.
Now, would it be better to dismount and do this? But keeping in mind that I have land-based riding and gliding and all that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah. They're going to begin to. They're actually going to get down low too.
Okay.
So yeah, probably.
All right. I'll do that. It might be a little tough with one hand to land, I guess, but we'll see how we go.
Okay.
I'll do my best to copy what they did. I'll dismount and do that.
That's fine. Yeah, they get low. They put their backs to the ridge.
I'll say, why
You'll
are
eventually
we
hear-
hiding?
He says they'll pass us by. Lizardmen don't have any. They can't smell.
How did they track us then?
He says they don't. Lizardmen don't hunt the way we do.
Well, they seemed to know where we were, and it's not like we were in eyesight.
He says, I'm not sure how they found us, Walzer.
All right then.
I'm sure they can see just fine.
Okay. All right. I'll let it go.
And they'll wait. You hear the crunch of twigs eventually running through the woods, hissing and some sort of guttural hissing language. You're not, lizard man presumably. Kind of rush past you. Paul will say, he'll turn to Jasper and he'll say, I'm going to him. And Jasper says, kind of looks awkwardly at Walzer and says, can't do that, Paul. I got to.
Hold up. What are you two talking about? And don't play coy.
Paul will jump down from the ridge.
Where is he going?
And he says, damn it, Paul, just, it's hard to explain. There's a,
We'll be quick about it.
And he says, I'm sure you'll find out. Just wait and see. We'll just wait for him to come back. At which point,
if they're waiting, you can fill me in.
Paul's going for reinforcements.
Okay. What, he's going to go all the way back to the fucking fort?
No, Paul's heading further south, further away from the keep.
Okay.
The keep's direction anyway. It'll take him hours to get there anyway, so he's probably not going that way. But he will go, you see Paul go along the ridge, jump down, and continue further south, east, and he eventually disappears from behind some trees. And 2 minutes or so go by, and then Paul is followed by 4 men and a dwarf.
Do I recognize?
We're all dressed in
Okay, so he's coming back?
greens and browns, yeah, and he's walking with
Okay.
purpose and conviction. And at that point, Jasper will leave as well and hop down and kind of meet him. He kind of, from what you can see, do you follow him?
Yeah. If I can glide down, I will, though.
It's fine. You glide down. Jasper will come up to Paul and kind of push him and say, "What are you doing?" And he kind of motions to Walzer and he says, "It doesn't matter, Jasper," says Paul, and he will draw his bow and they will kind of leap back over the ridge, back up the way they came, down the stairs, and engage in battle with the lizard men.
Okay, I'll follow them back up, I guess.
Okay, follow back up. At this point, there are 5 men, or 4 men and a dwarf, 5 men, with arrows shooting into the woods, like a stone spear nearly strikes you as you make your way back up to the ridge.
Okay.
Are you willing to fight?
Yes.
Okay, let's go and roll for initiative.
Again, I'll just stay mounted the entire time if I can. So 10.
Okay. Oh, 10, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you see Jasper will kind of look exasperated, and he'll say, just wait here. We'll sort this out. And then he'll go and he'll fire into the woods at a couple of lizard men. Well, as far as you can see, there are about 4 or 5 lizard men, and there are about 5 or 6 guys, and most likely the lizard men will retreat once they take a casualty, probably.
Okay.
Mike, what do you do, Walter?
Is there any way that I can do a perception check to see how many I can actually see?
No, there's no perception checking in this game. You can see all of them. I mean, well, I said 4 or 5, but it's 4.
Okay. All right. It's kind
they're
of
taking
weird that
cover
they're
behind
pushing
trees.
me, like these humans and dwarves are sort of like pushing me to not go into combat with them. Is that because all of them are taking them out from range? Are any of them going into melee at all?
No, none of them are being in melee, and none of them actually talk to you. So Jasper walked up to Paul and pushed him and said, what the hell's that for? And these other men are kind of walking up and just beginning to fire without any words.
Okay, these men, what do they look like?
Yeah. They're dressed in browns and greens. They have bows. They have swords.
Yeah, are they mercenaries that I've noticed from the keep?
Definitely not.
And you said he was only away for 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Did I get any descriptions on the mercenaries, like Eric, Tustin, Winston, and that sort of stuff?
No, not really. There was just kind of It was kind of names and figures.
Did any of them mention anything of a dwarf?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Then I will engage in combat if I can.
Okay.
Is the intent here to drive off? Like, is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to drive away the.
Whatever works.
Okay.
Kill them or not.
I'll turn to the one of the guys who was shooting the bow, and I'm like, "What's your intent here? Are you trying to kill them?"
And he says, "If I kill one, it's just a bonus."
So you want to get rid of them?
Aye.
I sort of put my hand on Pike's head and I ask him to roar as loudly as he can into the forest.
Okay.
His intimidation is 14, right?
Right.
I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Yes, it's 14. Okay. $29.
Okay. Well, let's get a sound effect.
Yeah.
Into the woods.
I didn't actually hear it. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then I'll.
All of the men that have joined you will look very surprised, but and so, one of them will actually roll morale.
All right. Cool.
All right. Anything else? In order for Pike to get there, he's gonna have to make a full movement and not attack.
No, he's not gonna go into range combat if no one else is going into melee. So.
Yeah, they're not. Okay. And then all the other men, you see them firing bows or whatnot. One of them tags Lizard Man in the shoulder. But the lizard men are taking cover very effectively, blending in.
What's this? What's the scrubland like here? Is it dense? Is it wet? Like, what are we dealing with?
It's dense, not particularly wet.
Is
That
it like?
swamp area was.
Is it something I can maybe light a fire in?
Yeah, sure.
I turned back to the gentleman I talked to before, and I was like, "How do you feel about smoking them out?"
And he says, "Who are you talking to?"
The guy that I talked to before about their intent.
No. And he says, "Don't bother. If we can't see if that'll either drive them into melee combat, where we're not as effective, or they just move further back. It won't do anything. Trust me, I know these lizard men."
All right, I'll leave it up to you to make the decision here.
Yeah, you do that.
I give him like a soldier nod. Like, is that something that can happen? Yeah. Like, I basically I hand off command to him. You know, like sort of. I'll.
Well, yeah, you didn't really have to give, but okay.
Okay.
Paul will fire 2 shots. Two leg shots for Paul. He's going to cripple one of them. Fall over. If you're not going to engage in melee, eventually one of them, they will retreat because they are sorely outnumbered. Lizardmen will run away.
Yeah.
And the 4 men in the dwarf Engelard.
Well then,
Are you thinking of something to do?
I mean, there's not much. Let's see.
Have you been thinking of something to do? We're not back to you yet. I want you.
Yeah, I've been thinking, but so far there's nothing much I could do. Considering we can't go explore the map, that was going to be another one of my plans. But since it's going to take too long, it'd probably be better to go there tomorrow with Walzer, who's off having the time of his life.
Okay, Walzer. The 4 men in the dwarf will begin to walk back the way they came. Paul will go with them. Jasper will say, "What do we do with him? What if he blabs?" I'll say, "He doesn't know anything," says Paul. And Paul will go back with the other men. And Jasper will look at you, and he'll look at them, and then he'll go with the other men and leave you there.
Now, how good of a scent tracker is Pike without training?
Does he have tracking?
He does not.
Okay, not very.
Can he like tell someone apart from scents?
I doubt it.
Okay. Then I'll sort of like I'll run up to Jasper and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going?"
He says, "If I were you, I would just get out of here."
Now hold up. You can't just bring me out to the middle of nowhere and leave me alone.
Well, this wasn't my intent. These men will kill you.
Well, so will these
You
woods.
don't leave.
So I'll take my chance with you guys, if you don't mind.
All right. Says, "Fair enough." They'll soldier on. Takes about 2 minutes, or takes about a minute and a half or so. Walking through the woods, you eventually come to a big circular ridge that kind of creates like a box canyon almost, with like a very dark rock. And inside there are about 12 tents set up, and a number of fire pits that have been dug with stones. And the men come back, they disperse into their various places around the ridge. They're just kind of, standing around. You see a lot of people. They're all men.
Okay. Is any of them wearing anything? Like, are they all in like uniform? Like, is it?
Nope, they all appear to be dressed in browns and greens.
Okay.
They all have weapons. They're all armed.
Can I do a Like, is there a way, like, can I use survival to see if I can tell how well, like, like, maybe it's like an intelligence check or something like that. But basically, I want to get an idea of how veteran these people are. If
Okay.
that makes any sense.
Let's do. Just give me intuition. Trouble sense.
Trouble
Intuition,
sense? Okay. It's the same number, so.
Yeah, I know.
25.
Nailed it.
Come on.
These guys appear rough and tumble and bad to the bone. They are all scowling at each other. They all have scars on their faces or something like that.
Mhm.
You see one of them that's standing in the center is dressed. He's got chainmail armor, brown linen breeches. He's got earrings and a face tattoo.
Okay. Anything in particular about the face tattoo I should know? Like, is it, like, remarkable in any way, or is it just sort of, like, lines and stuff?
No, it's on the side of his head, and it's quite large. It's an X.
An axe.
An X.
An X. Okay.
The
yeah.
letter X. And it's on both sides of his head.
All right. Well, I'll dismount and I'll sort of walk in with Pike.
Yeah, you certainly caught some attention already with just Pike existing.
Yeah. And he's not on it, like, I'm not leading him or anything like that. This Pike's just sort of following me, if that makes any sense. So it doesn't look like I'm bringing a horse to water or anything.
Sure, a man with a two-handed maul walks up. Leather armor.
Mm-hmm.
Quite unassuming, average height and thin. He's got a full beard, though, and he says, pretty fine weapon you got there, stranger.
Does he mention towards a Lucerne, or does he mention towards Pike?
Lucerne.
Okay. Thank you. I made it myself. Yeah, it's very.
Pretty good.
It's saved me quite a few times.
I said, you want to fight for it?
Do I want to fight for the Pike? Fight for the Lucerne? No, I do not. My name is Walzer, by the way. I put out
I didn't
Lucerne.
ask. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
He says, well, I guess I'll just. He kind of motions over to a couple of guys, a couple of beach Christian men, and one is a dark-skinned man. And they say, we don't take too kindly to strangers around here.
No, I'm not a stranger.
And he says, well, I don't know you, and that makes you a stranger.
Well, that could be easily remedied over a few ales.
And he says, he'll say, you come from the keep?
Aye, but I've only been there a day.
And he says, he'll call over to the man with the face tattoo. He says, Figs, come over here. Man will walk over with the hoop earring and the face tattoos, and he'll, but before he comes over, he'll reach into there's kind of a wooden structure in the center that kind of looks like an unfinished, or like kind of like the foundation to a building almost.
Mm.
Kind of reach in, walk in there for a second, reach in, and he'll pull out his own Lucerne hammer.
Oh. My eyes sort of light up at this. I've never seen anyone else use a Lucerne. So.
And he'll walk up to you, and the man who was talking to you with the large beard, he will say, this guy's from the keep. What do you want to do with him?
Now hold up. I've been there an entire day. I'm actually from Bit Cove.
The man with the face tattoo will say, what's your name?
My name is Walzer, son of Andrew and Adelaide of Bit Cove.
And he says, do you plan on going back to the keep?
Well, not really. I mean, it's a good place to earn money, but seems you guys are pretty set up, yeah?
Says, we do well enough. Kind of looks over to there's a stack of wooden crates on kind of one wall of this box canyon.
Yeah, I say, well, my main aim here is to keep Pike here fed, and I sort of like lean on Pike a little bit. But other than that, you know, I go where I please.
He says, yeah, that's a, I know a wyvern when I see one.
Well, you got a good eye.
This is Figs talking to you, and he says, you're crippled, I see.
Yes, had a run-in with some dwarves, unfortunately.
Not much use to anybody, I imagine.
You know, I can still ride.
I suppose. He says, what do you plan to do?
Does he say that to me?
Yeah.
Well, money was my game when I first came to the keep, and I came out with your boys here. I sort of motioned to Jasper and Paul, and they were going to show me the hunting grounds, but you know, one thing led to another.
Yes, well, Jasper and Paul are loyal members of our cause. I don't know anything about your strength of character or loyalty, integrity. Can't just let you go walking around back to the keep.
Well, that's fine. I don't really have any reason to go back. But have you heard any stories about the Hero of the Vale up past Fort Mitchell way?
No, we don't hear much from that direction.
Did you know much about the undead scourge that plagued the lands up there for a while? A few months?
Dave, you would know that was not a... That didn't get out very far.
Okay, well, I'm still going to say it.
Yeah, he says, can't say that I have. Sounds like tall tales to me.
Yeah, well, there's a reason you haven't heard it. It's because I quelled it pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's easy enough to say. I fought off the Red Dragon, Kotheratang, who plagued these woods. You know, see, we can say whatever we want. It doesn't make it true.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I wish I had a little more to tell you that maybe you would believe, but hey.
He says, well, for the time being, you can stay here.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But we're going to commandeer that weapon of yours.
Well, I mentioned to my arms, like, as a Lucerne user, I'm sure you're well aware that it's almost impossible for me to use it with one hand.
Yeah, so I can't imagine you'd be needing it anytime soon.
Well, I mean...
He'll kind of point to the man with the long beard, and he'll walk up to you and try to take it from you.
I would appreciate it if you'd let me take it with me when I leave.
I'd appreciate it if you'd like to stay here. We'll take that from you. If you'd like to go, go.
I sort of scratched my chin a little bit. I'm like, Well, I don't see any problem in taking it, letting you borrow it, I suppose, for the time being. Maybe I can learn a trick or two from you if you're willing.
The man with the long beard will take your Lucerne hammer, and he will. Fig says, Buster, put that in my tent, and the man with the long beard will move away and back to where he came from, or back to a tent, and put your Lucerne hammer in there.
Does his Lucerne hammer look ornate in any way?
No.
Does it look special?
No. It looks military.
Okay.
And he says, "Come, sit with me."
All right.
He'll take you over to the wooden structure that exists in kind of the center of the keep, or not keep, the camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll sit down on Indian style on his, on the ground.
Sure. I'll sit opposite to him, I suppose.
And he'll say, "So where did you meet this fine specimen?" Motioning to Pike.
Well, how much of it are you willing to believe? I sort of smile at that. That's what
Start from the beginning. He looks very interested.
Okay. Well, I tell him about how.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can blah 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 yada yada
Yeah.
yada. We'll
Mhm.
we'll take a break.
Okay. All right. So,
You
guys.
tell the whole story or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of, do what the normal Walzer trick of sort of elaborating on it a little bit too much and,
Mhm.
making it a little more grandiose than it needs to be, but
Take a quick break and
it's part of the storytelling. All right, so we'll
We'll
be
come
back
together.
in 3 to 5 minutes, guys, with our number 3 of week 5 of Die Party Blood Juice. Don't go anywhere.